Where's Tim South?
Jeremy?
Tim is in Pennsylvania. He was scheduled not to be
Jeremy,
here.
yeah, he said.
Jeremy's family's sick. Derek is not here, and Sabrina is not here, and then we have one opening in total.
You and I talked about somebody.
Yeah, I forwarded to the commission, and I know Kevin got that. He,
Not available.
yeah.
All right, 5:31 PM, June 22nd, 2026. This is the 2026 Tilton Northfield Fire District Building Committee. We are lacking some people, although with 4 voting members, we do have a quorum. Currently present is Matt Ogier, Helen Hardenberg, and Scott Hilliard, along with myself, Kevin Waldron, and Chief Sean Ballavini. There is no public to comment. We have some minutes to review. The 324, we have an opinion on whether or not we need to, or have to, or should, or whatever. Have you all seen that opinion?
Yes.
Matt, did you see that from? Well, it occurs to me that the opinion says we don't have to do anything with them. There's no requirement to do anything.
But then it
if
remains a draft. Then it remains a draft.
That's correct.
The only other thing is that Scott and I can abstain and you three can vote, and
No, he
I'm
doesn't.
not-
you're
I'm
not
not
a voting
voting.
member,
Yeah.
so you
But
don't have.
there's
enough.
nothing saying you can't vote.
Yep.
There's nothing saying you can't vote.
In the bylaws.
So, I don't have an opinion, one or another, whatever you want to do. If you want to leave them draft, we'll leave them draft. If you want to take a vote to approve them, I'll entertain a motion.
I don't, it wasn't a meeting that I attended, so. What's your opinion?
I mean, I'm not part of the committee, but my opinion is they probably should be approved by somebody just because we always approve the minutes. It doesn't, but we got that opinion. It says it doesn't have to be. There's nothing in the RSA that says they have to be approved.
It's clear that they can stay draft forever, indefinitely.
Yep. So it's really, it's more of a point of just keeping with the same.
What you've always done, or you break from that and let it go. I don't.
You can always table it till the next meeting when you have a quorum of people to vote on.
We have a quorum. We will
We
never.
have a-
We will
No,
never
but we
have.
don't have a quorum to be able to.
We will never
We
have
never
that
will.
quorum, because those people are no longer in the committee.
Right.
So, having not heard a motion, there'll be no action taken, they will remain draft.
Okay.
We'll move to the June 1st minutes. Is there a motion relative to the June 1st minutes?
Did she get you?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as.
Hold up, oh, let's go up. We can't have multiple people. It's bad for the recording, it's bad for my ears.
I understand that it's bad, but I don't think I saw this electronically. So I have to take time to read it before.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Sorry, I thought you did.
we have time for you to do that.
Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry we did get this, and I in fact have read it. So I'm prepared.
There's a motion on the table to accept the minutes as written, is that correct, Scott?
That's correct.
Is there a second to that
Yes.
motion?
Second.
All right, is there any, anyone have any issues with the way it's printed? All right, all those in favor of the minutes as printed, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a question? Just
Sure.
to clarify, we are meeting on the second and the fourth Mondays.
I believe.
Yes.
If that, and it was, I think I got confused with Kathy had sent me a message about the RFP, and she was just being kind and inviting people. And I got confused because I'm thinking it's a Thursday, and I have selected on Thursday. I would have had an issue with that, so anyway, I just wanted to make sure that I was correct, so.
Yeah, I think isn't that mentioned in the minutes?
Yep,
somewhere?
second and fourth is, and we apologize for that. There was just a lot of meetings last week. We tried to keep the building
Yeah.
committee abreast of everything happening, so you
Yeah.
could have a chance to go if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And I think we just got some not wires crossed, but just,
Yeah.
with so many emails went out, we had some wrong
You can
dates.
say it nice and cheap. I'm easy to confuse.
No, I confused myself, so it's not just you. So yeah, second and fourth Mondays.
Review RFP process and selection.
Yep, so I can, so I brought all the proposals if you guys wanted to see them. We had 5 firms submit proposals for our RFP. All 5 firms have previous building experience with fire stations, which was great, because the last one we had 2, and they didn't really have too much fire station experience. So all 5 had vast fire station experience. The commissioners interviewed all 5. We were going to just do 3, and they said, well, there's only 5, let's do 5. So we did 3 on Monday night and 2 on Tuesday night last week. And they quickly narrowed it down to 3 because of cost and location. There was 3 New Hampshire firms that were all, I believe, similar in price depending on who was pre-bond and post-bond and how it worked out, but they were. And so they went down to the interviews, and I can't speak for the commission, but the commission chose, out of those 3, they chose SMP out of Concord, Shear, I don't want to say it wrong. I'm going to say it wrong. Shear, McChrystal, Paulson Architecture. So that proposal has been sent to our legal counsel just to review. Right now it's just a 5-page proposal. That'll get us to pre-bond. Then there'll be an AIA contract post-bond, or when we have to get the engineers and everybody else involved. The pre-bond pricing was just over $60,000. I don't want to say exactly what it is, but that should get us to bond, and that was one of the reasons they liked the proposal.
That's within the 100,000 that was voted for
Correct.
by the district.
Correct. Yeah, so there'll be fees for a construction manager that will have to come out of that 100,000 also. So we're already working on that process to start the RFQ. SMP, we're going to do an RFQ to get qualifications in. From those qualifications, the commissioners are going to select 3 to 5 companies to actually submit an RFP out of the RFQ that comes from SMP's help. So we're working on that proposal now. We're starting to get going already on that process. And I know the 3 of you guys were there. I don't want to.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. So am I missing anything real important or no?
And, I mean, I think we all gave our input. In the end, Kevin can speak for himself. He would have chosen another group, but I think Matt and I both felt that SMP would be a better choice, and that's what the commissioners did.
I think, like I said, there was, 5 firms, all would have built us a great fire station. There was 3 out of New Hampshire that really did site visits. They came, they showed real interest in the project. All 3 had good proposals.
Sure.
I don't think we could have gone wrong with any of the 3 of them.
Well,
So-
it costs a lot of money with the other.
With the other two, yeah, that's right, the other, I did have a conversation, Ted from Galante called me today, and there might have been some confusion on what they were bidding on. They went to the Lorero proposals. Again, they didn't do a site visit, I don't know if they reviewed the RFP all the way through. They thought they were bidding on the old buildings at the 27,000 square feet. So I think you'll find that their pricing really wasn't out of the ordinary, but they might not have done enough homework to understand what they were
They
doing.
didn't do their due diligence.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 3 of the 4 firms who didn't get it have requested feedback from the commission. Turner's the only one who had, they still could, but as of yet, they haven't requested feedback. So we're going to, on July 14th at our next regular commissioners meeting, I'm going to bring that correspondence. I've already emailed it to the commission, but they're going to bring that correspondence. They're going to discuss that correspondence and give a reply.
Good. Well, sounds like we're moving forward. So that's the important thing.
Have you all read the charge? Do you all have the copy of the charge?
Yeah.
Any comment on the charge?
I read it when it first, the chief sent it out, and I had a question on it, and I thought I wrote it down.
Chief, did the charge change from what I think I saw as a draft to the signed copy?
I don't believe so, no.
I think they signed it there.
They signed it there, so you're talking about the first meeting, that was just the 2 members? Between that and the 3 members, they did not.
Okay.
No, because they came up with it, I formatted it a little differently, all their words were the same, but I made it formatted just to work a little better on one piece of paper. And I had the 3, no, so from the time it was presented, from the 2 till the time that was signed, no changes were made.
My mic came on, so, my question was, research and review other funding and fundraising options that may be suggested in addition to or in lieu of municipal bonding. Can somebody help me, are you talking about local banking, or?
I think more, I think he was looking for more like help find if there's any grants, anything like that. From all the fire chiefs I'm talking to, grants have all but dried up for buildings. That doesn't mean there isn't something out there.
Right.
I'm gonna continue to research that. I think that was to help with that and any other,
Well, and I asked that question for this purpose, is that in Tilton, we used the municipal bond bank. Quite often, we have. And when I was the town administrator in Andover, we had to do some TAN, tax anticipation note funding. And one of the things that I found was Franklin Savings began a program, so it would now be about 4 years ago, that was really aggressive in rate structure and payback, early payback penalty, which I found appealing. And when I came here to Tilton, our finance director, Tim Pearson, who's, as you know, Mr. Finance, and very good at it, he had already done the research and moved, we refinanced some of our, I think it was at least one bond to them. And it was a easier process, more competitive rate, and saved us in our first year, I think it was $27,000.
So on the,
Yeah, an interest.
27.
on the
Yeah.
last process, when we had Lorero Construction,
Yeah.
and we were talking about numbers, we met with, I didn't meet with the bond bank, but they met with the bond bank and got basically a payment schedule.
Yeah.
And then I was in the meeting that we met with John Jones from Franklin Savings Bank.
That's the guy.
And I was very impressed with the structure of the loan, the availability to only take the money as you need it. And that was a huge one, because if this project takes, I don't know how long this project, say it takes 2 years, just say. If you take that full amount of money, you're paying interest on that money for 2 full years. Where Franklin Savings Bank, you just take a draw as you need it, especially the fact that we have $700,000 in our land and building fund that we can use first without paying interest. So just in that first 2 years alone, the money you could save in interest using Franklin Savings Bank.
Yeah.
I was very impressed. I was also very impressed with the fact that if say interest rates go down 2%, we just call John Jones and they lower the interest rate of our loan 2%. If you go with the bond bank,
You're committed.
Whatever you sign at, it's
Yeah.
through the term.
yeah, but with Franklin, if rates go up, you stay the same. So
Right.
you're protected on both ends. I was very impressed with Franklin Savings Bank.
So is that still valid?
That is still valid.
Yes,
Now,
it
they
is.
can't give me the rates, but we do all our banking with Franklin Savings Bank, and we can't get a rate until we're ready to.
Yeah.
But, you know, their rates are very competitive with the bond bank. At the time, I mean, I want to say they were 0.1 higher than the bond bank.
Yeah.
But if you figured it all out,
That-
it was much cheaper. And that would be my recommendation.
Yeah, and in full disclosure, I do not currently, but I did sit on the Franklin Savings Bank Board of Corporators for a number of years. I no longer sit there. But, and I just want to, if somebody reads the minutes and says, oh, Hilliard's working for Franklin Savings, I am not.
Yeah.
But as the town administrator in Andover, I got the Board of Selectmen to change over to them, and they're still there. And you're right, there were so many things that, the flexibility, the lock-in from raising the rate. But if the rates go down, and it's anticipated, I guess, that rates will be going down eventually. So I'm sure we may, this committee and this project may become very timely.
Yeah.
So.
But that won't come into effect until we have a number and
Correct.
Yeah.
we go and they say, okay, two towns say, yeah, we'll buy for it, then we go for it.
But, I mean, looking at our timeline, looking at the project, I mean, we're gonna be looking at numbers in October, which is not far away.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So,
My take on that paragraph is that it's relative to any money that doesn't end up in your tax bill, no matter the source. If
Right.
John Q. Public wants to give us
Write a check.
$8 or $10 million, we'll say thank you.
if you find somebody like that, please send them our way.
Well, why don't we go solicit all of these new companies that are moving into Zilton?
Amazon is clearing land as we speak,
Mhm.
up on,
The left side, right?
they own,
Both.
parking's gonna be on the left, yes, and building's gonna be on the right.
I mean, my grandfather used to do it. Why can't we
He
still?
did, your grandfather was good at it. He was very good. He got in my pocket a number of times.
I think it's a great idea, go to Amazon and ask them for a little
Well,
funding.
Well, we're in the middle in the town of Tilton, not the mixed company here, but we're in the middle of working on master plan development for impact fees, because they are impacting our services, as you will know, tremendously, and it's gonna get worse before it gets better. Somebody said, there's no place to build in Tilton. Well, don't tell me that. They're finding
They're finding it.
They're building them on back roads and pastures. So, anyway, thank you, I just.
Yeah,
I wanted
no,
to
that makes
throw
it,
that
yeah,
out there.
yeah.
And that was the only question I had on it, Mr. Chairman.
Anything else?
Yeah, I'd like to have a little
ahead.
clarification on what we consider the completion of this project. What is the completion?
Where are you seeing that?
Right down at the bottom of
Down
the
at the bottom.
duration. I mean, is that
Oh,
right
dur-
until the building's built?
Duration. That, my perspective is that's whenever the commissioners decide it's completed, because only they can form the committee and only they can conclude the committee.
So they're gonna decide that the project's finished, but we have no idea whether it will really be finished or not when they decide that. Is that how I'm supposed to take that, Kevin?
If you want my
Just
opinion.
Mackenzie, I'm trying to clarify for you.
If, I can't speak for them, of course, but my opinion is that they will not, unless they just feel they don't need the committee,
Right.
they won't stop it before
Okay.
true completion, after the district meeting, maybe even through the build process.
Yeah.
Because I don't even think they knew they could bring it to an end after Lorero was done. I asked them in a meeting, are we done? What's the
Yeah.
deal? And they didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't have a consensus among them, so I don't see them just pulling the plug.
Yeah.
Unless
No,
they
I'm
just,
just curious.
Yeah,
unless they just feel like, hey, we can do this, we don't need them.
There's gonna be things that come up during the build I mean, I've never built a fire station, but I know there's gonna be things that come up during the build process that we're gonna need help and opinions on, and I'm sure, I mean, that's one of the,
Okay.
but maybe we don't have to meet twice a month, every Tuesday, every second and fourth, but, we need to, but I can't speak for the commission, I can't,
Right.
they didn't tell me what that date meant, but, that's all what I'm thinking about is, we're still gonna need guidance, even if this gets approved, or when this gets approved, I should start saying.
So do we need to do anything with this charge or just accept it as?
We need to hold on to it.
Yeah,
We need to know what we're supposed to do.
okay.
But
should we be structuring our agendas around this charge?
Well, we have a cycle of scheduled meeting,
I know.
and we should stick to that cycle pending things that happen. Maybe we don't need to meet as often, but until we get our feet settled, I think it's important to at least keep those dates open.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you about the actual meeting schedules, but I'm just talking about points on agendas. Do we need to make sure that we go back and look at the scope every time and make sure that, is this a time that we have to discuss something about it, or, I don't know.
Well, typically, agendas are the responsibility of you-know-who.
Hi, Kevin.
But it's a combined effort of input from chief, commissioners, and then whoever actually publishes it, whether it's chief, Kathy, Mackenzie, whoever it is. Because I can tell you, I don't print like this at home. So, yeah, the agendas are arrived at through conversation, I think.
Yep,
Is that how it's been?
So it's always been a draft agenda, and if Kathy has a draft format of the agenda. If you notice, they're all exact, and then she just adds and subtracts. I add things, and then I ask the commission, would you want this something? Sometimes the commissioner will ask me to put something in the agenda. It is a draft agenda until the chairman approves it. And so Kevin, that's really Kevin's agenda, but we help him build it. And
Okay.
does that make sense? Yeah.
No, I'm just used to structuring things more along the lines of action items and things like that. So my agendas have always been, here are the points we need to cover. Did we have anything to say about this today? Yes, here are the points, and we'll incorporate those into the next meeting, or no, and we'll move on to the next point. So you don't lose sight of the different things that you're supposed to be focused on.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't know, I mean, I'm just used to running meetings a little differently
Yeah.
than just having a seat of the pants.
Well, I think-
This is gonna be today's agenda.
I think part of, especially tonight, was just to get the charge out there. And Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys went for a long time without a charge the last time, right? You had one
And it
line,
changed over time, went from one page to
2.5 pages.
2.5 pages, or from one paragraph or one sentence to about a half a page at one point. Then it jumped to 2.5, 3 pages.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of,
When,
if you're gonna be on, I'll tell you, Helen, if you're gonna be on these commissions and committees, you've got to know how and be willing to wing it.
To wing it?
To wing it, 'cause things change. I mean, and
Well,
they-
I know
it's very
everything changes,
fluid.
I'm not,
So, and also relative to agendas, my best knowledge of agendas is you don't have to have one. And just because something's on it, you don't have to discuss it. And just because something's on it doesn't mean you can't discuss it. So it is truly a fluid draft document. Truly is. Now, it depends how you run the meetings. You know,
You'd never even be successful in a board meeting, but that's okay.
say that again?
Nothing.
We,
You didn't hear that, Mackenzie.
I didn't. I have, I think, been on one committee who thought it was a great idea to run their meetings under Robert's rules. Let me tell you, that's a terrible idea. It's a very counterproductive set of rules, and we've never discussed it, but I have no intention
Oh,
of
I don't
even
want
entertaining
Robert's
Robert's
rules either,
rules.
so.
If you notice the opinion of the New Hampshire Municipal Association, they advise to not use Robert rules unless it's a large event. It doesn't work well for small communities.
It's,
Town meeting.
if you want to make something very cumbersome, go ahead, try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
Okay. Just asking.
Any other business? Anyone have anything else they want to bring?
I just want to say again, I have if you guys want to see the proposals, if you want to see.
I'd like to just
Yeah, I can.
quickly.
Yeah, and no, you can, I can give them to you now, I can give them to you later, you can keep them overnight, give them to me tomorrow, however you wanna, I'm fine with that. I have the original, the master copies are in my
And
office.
that's only the RFP for the,
Yes, yeah, this was, so we're gonna have another RFQ go out for the construction, yeah.
okay, all
Yeah,
right, well, no, I'll look at it
okay.
So, while we're still in session, tell me what you think what's your knowledge of what the construction man is actually going to do?
So, it's my understanding, again, and
That's all
I'm
I'm
new to
looking
this. To my understanding, the construction manager is going to, we're gonna bid, we get the RFQ, we get down to 3, and the commission, they do an RFP, which is a request for proposal. The 3 or to 5, whatever we pick, 3, let's call it 3, construction management companies will propose to us, this is our fee to build you this building. Because when we get to them, we're gonna have a much better idea of what we want for a building. Their job is to get quotes, whether it's 3, 4, 5 quotes for concrete walls, and bring everything together that the architect and engineer, and then the commission actually chooses. The commission doesn't have to choose low bid. The commission can choose which contractor they use. So the construction manager, they choose the construction manager, then the construction manager is going to present subs, and then the commission is going to be able to choose which sub they use. If, say we have a dirt guy that lives around the corner we know is great, and he lives right there, the commission can choose that person. And that's my understanding of the construction manager and why it works a little better, and you have a little better control over who you're using. Where design build, you don't really have that control. It's they're building you this. And I might be wrong on that,
I
but
don't think you're far off.
yeah.
Who does the construction manager actually work for? Who does the construction manager answer to?
He answers to the commission, is my understanding.
Yep, I have that same thoughts.
Yep.
And the construction manager would also hire a separate clerk of the works? Or is that included in the proposal?
I think that depends on the project, and you can do it both ways, and we haven't got to that point yet of how we're gonna, if we're gonna have a separate clerk of the works, or they're gonna do it.
I had a guy that was clerk of the works in Andover when we were building the highway garage, and very, very good. He was very helpful. In fact, we joked when I interviewed in town of Tilton. I said, I built my first police station in 1996. I built my first highway garage in 2023. And I said, both came in on time and under budget. So we, joked about it. Because they said, what knowledge do you have about, municipal projects? I said, well, 2 for 2, so.
I know in the last project, we did have a budget line. It was not included in the 21.5, but there was a additional budget line for a clerk of the works. I actually haven't had that discussion with the commission, so I don't know which way they're gonna lean. I think my recommendation would be to have one, but, again, I don't know enough about exactly where you go with that. Because the architect works separately from the construction manager, and they both work for the commission. So the commission does have the construction manager watching the architect, or architects watching the construction manager, and they're all working together on that project, so.
I asked that question because I heard someone say that, and I don't remember which contractor or which architect firm it was, but they said, we will help you find a construction manager. We have some we like to work with. I don't know if that was SMP or ABC or XYZ, but I heard that.
So in my site interviews, in the site walkthroughs, all three expressed that to me, and that they have a list and they send it out to everybody. And that is ultimately, all the decisions are made by the commission. But these, local companies, there's only so many in New Hampshire, so they have all.
Let's see if I have anything. Anything else?
No, we just wanted to get you up to date on this, and Tim will be back for the next meeting, so.
And I will not be here.
Okay.
I have a family event that was planned months ago. I can't. And
So
in Boston.
that date
for it.
is what?
That's the 13th.
The 13th,
July 13th, yes.
July 13th.
I just won't be here for that.
And then the next meeting is July 27th.
All right, if there is nothing else, last chance.
No.
Nothing else? All right, we'll be adjourned at 6:03 PM.
Nice. I like these kind of meetings.
You don't want to run this?
I don't know how.
That is all. Just so you know, they're still recording over here.